Let's get up here. All right. Good evening, everyone. It is Wednesday, November. Good. All right. I hope you can see me all right. We had a little bit of a freeze up on the program there. We will be bringing my friend John up here. Let's see if we can get John. This is our being in New England, and we were hurrying around getting everything to. Hey, John. Can you hear me?
Hi, Bob. I can hear you fine, and you can probably hear the crowd behind me. I'm at the oldest restaurant in the United States tonight. I'm at a networking event, and I'm in a room right now that's going to be commandeered at 7:30, so I can only stay for half the show, which kind of upsets me because having Chris on is one of the funnest things that we've had the opportunity to do. And I think he becomes our first three-time participant, if I recall.
Two, I think. Maybe three. Yeah.
You know what? I had him on once when you were
that's right.
recovering or in Italy. But you know what? There's not many people that know more about the technical side of RVs than Chris. And I want to take this moment to wish all of our viewers very Merry Christmas and hope they had a great Thanksgiving a couple weeks ago. And looking forward to a great show tonight. Wednesday is a fun night.
Yep. Only two announcements. We'll bring Chris right up because I want you to be able to maximize your time on the air tonight. Next week you will be going solo. We'll announce a guest later on. I will be at a speaking engagement in Pennsylvania and cannot get out of that one. And we drew our fourth winner this week for the tickets for the Boston RV and Camping Show, which if you go to the Facebook page right where you are now, look for the contest link, sign up. You only have to sign up once. The winner this week is David Warren from Marlborough, Massachusetts. So with that said, I am going to bring up Mr. Dougherty. And there he is. Hey, Chris, good evening. Welcome.
Good evening.
There's the guy.
How are you gentlemen doing? Happy holidays.
Good.
We're doing great, Chris. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, too.
John's only got a half hour. So what we did in preparation for this show, we had a couple of different topics. But Chris assembled such an incredible list of gifts. I can tell you right now, we're not going to be able to get through all of them. So we're going to push the RV of the year off to another show a little bit later on in the year or maybe early next year. And we're going to get into gifts. So, Chris, tell us a little bit about how you selected the gifts and what you thought. Whoa, what?
Hold on. We got to get this. We got to get this right on the table, right up front here, Chris. We want to make sure that none of these gifts are politically insensitive, because we've already been told that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is under scrutiny right now for bullying the other reindeers. So you've got to make sure that if these gifts get delivered, they're not delivered by Rudolph, and they might be delivered by Amazon or FedEx. But you can't say, and Bob, we can't talk about the weather and say, baby, it's cold outside either.
That's right, kid. No more baby, and no more Kiss Me in the Little Mermaid either. They're boycotting Kiss Me in the Little Mermaid. So we're going to be able to sing anything to anybody by the time they get done with us.
Nothing that's animal insensitive, like grab the bull by the horns. That's not good either.
Oh, that's terrible.
So Grandma got run over by a reindeer is off the table?
No. That's assault and battery.
That's it. It is. Absolutely.
You can't do that. Right. And now Peter doesn't want us using the word bacon either. So you're going to have to think up something else in place of bacon. So it's not proud of you. I'm proud. So, Chris, tell us how you collected these things and what you did with your staff and what we got tonight.
Well, in my job, I have the fortunate honor of getting to test a lot of products for the RV industry. As an RVer, it's great. I get to go out and try these things, and I always see the new product, come across my desk, and then we see them at shows and things like that. So that's an awful lot of fun. And so I saw a lot of product there. And then I also thought it would be fun if I was able to include the rest of the editorial staff from Trailer Life and Motorhome and ask them if there was anything they wanted to include in the list. So we've done some features like that in Trailer Life. which has worked out very nicely. So we're doing the same thing here tonight. And so you'll get to see a nice mix of items. That will be some very nice gifts to put under the tree or to have at Hanukkah or whatever your holiday is.
Okay. Well, Chris, one of the things that you need to tell us is that Bob and I will both get duplicate copies of these gifts that we're talking about, so that we can put our seal of approval on them. Is that correct?
Well, we'll see. I actually don't have all of them. I only have a couple here, which I will show, things that I tested recently. But they're certainly all out there, and we'll see what we can do to get you hooked up.
All right, I'll believe that when I see it. Before we jump into it, we got Shirley back, and Maria Galante Moore is here this evening. And Shirley says hello and Merry Christmas. Mark Polk says hello, Chris. I guess he doesn't want to say hello to John and Bob, but that's all right. We got thick skin. Shirley's in Tampa, Florida. That's too bad, Shirley.
She's smart.
And Michelle and Laurie are here. John, you are having too much fun 2 weeks in a row.
And you know what?
2 weeks in a row. He's having fun. He's been having fun since January.
I'm drinking water with chicken wings.
There's Mark. Hello, Bob and John. I feel better now because Mark said hello to Bob and John before he said hello to Chris. Okay. Now my feelings are not hurt. Chris, where do you want to start? I got a bunch of pictures, or do you have something you want to hold up, or where would you like to start?
Well, why don't we start? So the first person of our editorial staff to respond to my inquiries was Chris Bunker. Chris is the managing editor for Motorhome, and he had a couple of items that looked like they were kind of fun. The first thing that he mentioned is the Cinemood projector.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, this is super cool. So what this is, technology is getting smaller and more portable every day, and it's working with our smart devices. And so what the Cinemood projector does is it is basically a multimedia projector that you can take with you, and you can use it for up to a 12-foot display. It has a nice picture and audio, and it's rechargeable, very light, so it's easy to take along with you. It's a little 3-inch cube, so it's really not very large at all. And it not only will stream content from your smart device, but it also comes with 120 hours of content included right on it. Disney ebooks, cartoons, Netflix, stuff like that.
Yeah, 1 second on that. John, we're picking up a lot of background noise in the restaurant for some reason now.
Okay, nothing's changed. There might be somebody else. Might be somebody else that just joined us.
So now you're better. Well, no, they can't hear you on that. Okay, so Chris, your sheet that you sent me, that's got a list price of $3.99.
It does, and you can find out more about it online at cinemood.com. It's pretty neat. 16 gigabytes of internal memory too, so you can put some stuff on it and run it, alone. But you can also stream to it if you have a good internet connection. Looks like fun.
Does it Bluetooth to your phone, or is there a physical connection to it?
It does. I believe it Bluetooths, and then you can also Bluetooth another speaker to it. So if you have one of those portable stereo speakers, you can improve the sound on it while you're watching it.
Okay, just got to be careful about what you're projecting on the side of your RV. Make sure it's G-rated, huh?
That's it, exactly. Well, we go camping, so you put RV up on the wall, it'll be pretty good, except for the sewer dumping accident. That's no fun.
That's exactly right.
I don't think he was thinking about RV, the movie. Sorry, right. Jerry Plant joined us from Cape Cod. Ed LaTurk goes on again. Good evening, Ed. And Mark corrected me. He already did. Okay, what else do you have on your list there, Chris?
So Chris also highly recommended the standby phone and beverage holder for your car. And so what he said was that, sometimes you need to hold a beverage, and then it's kind of hard to figure out where to put your phone and to keep it from sliding down between your seats and so forth in your car. And so that's what this little guy does. It's a little holder, and you put your drink in it. You can snap your phone to it. It comes with a spike, so you can take it out on the beach with you if you want, but then it also sits right in your car and holds all kinds of different beverages and things like that. So it's kind of a neat little gadget. And $15.95 is the MSRP, and that you can find at stand-by.com.
Okay,
and,
but Chris,
another interesting little thing.
Chris, I think we should sweeten the pot. Let's just say to our viewers right now, but wait, there's more. If you order within the next 20 minutes, you'll get 2 of these. Just pay separate shipping and handling.
That's right.
Licensed drivers only. Void where prohibited.
Yeah, and the offer's not available on the full moon or on high tide.
Not sold in stores.
Yes.
Not sold in stores.
Not sold in stores. Well, there's a lot of things that probably aren't sold in stores today, but.
Okay. But some of these may be sold in the stores of our dealers. We don't know that yet.
Indeed.
Look for dealership stores first.
Yep, dealers, Camping World stores. We have Camping World of Berkeley here and then up in New Hampshire, Chichester and whatnot, and then certainly online. There's a number of places there, Amazon and so on. So good places to go.
Can I jump ahead of you and put one up there? And it won't put you on the spot because I know you'll be able to talk about it. But it's one that is mentioned in almost every online forum group, whether it's Living the RV Dream or RV Tips or RV Newbies. If this thing wasn't made for the RV industry, they certainly have fallen in love with that product. Talk to us about the Blackstone. It's all over the place.
Yep, it is. This is a fantastic item, and Larissa Pearson, our marketing manager, was the first person to see one and wanted to buy it and for her new RV, and she did, and just fell in love with it. Her husband fell in love with it also, and joined the online clubs and whatnot for Blackstone. I bought one this summer. We do RV testing in Elkhart. For much of our editorial staff all meets in Elkhart for 2 weeks in August to test RVs, and so I got it to cook for everybody there, and it was just a fantastic item. So they're really not that expensive. The 17-inch one runs about $100 or so, and if I remember correctly, and you can find that at blackstoneproducts.com, and they've come out with some new models now. So they have one that's actually a combination of a grill and a griddle, and also a burner, so you can put a pot on it or whatnot. And they have different size griddles all the way up to the big, huge stand ones that you would use for a big picnic or something.
And the larger one is 22 inches, right, Chris?
I'm sorry, sir?
The larger one is 22 inches.
Yeah, well, they have them going up even larger than that. So it just depends on what size you want to get. But if you go to blackstoneproducts.com, you'll see all the different sizes and things there. The 17 and the 22 are the most friendly for RVing. And then you can get a really nice carry case. I got the carry case for mine. The griddle on top actually just lifts right off. So once you've cleaned it, you take it off and put it upside down in its case and put that on top of the base unit, and that all fits in another case. It's nice, easy to move, and nice and clean.
Hey, Chris, are the eggs, bacon, and sausage and pancakes included?
Sure, absolutely. You just got to go to the store first.
Okay.
Now, Chris, that's electric, right?
No, sir, that is propane.
The tiny
it's propane.
That is propane. And
propane tank, Bob?
Yep. And here's a little tip for you. Okay. If you're going to buy one of these things, there are people online who sell adapters for them to hook up to the low pressure propane connection that is on your RV. So if you have a trailer that has the propane connection on the side, you can actually adapt it over to work with this, or you can just standardize and use the Coleman propane bottles, the green bottles.
The small bottles. And I guess one of the keys to it is, in the online forum, I guess one of the keys to successfully living is you have to season it once you get it and use it the first time, right?
Yeah, so they recommend you get a seasoning oil which you can buy, at the same time you get it wherever you buy it from, or they also sell the oil online at Amazon, but you want a real high temperature, a high smoke oil to season it. And there's a video on YouTube shows all about the Blackstone and then also how to season it. And you go through that process, and I can tell you from my experience, it doesn't rust. As long as it's seasoned properly.
Yeah, that background is coming in loud, John, from behind you there, and I don't think I can do much with it. Gary, what other one would you want to bring up after that one, Chris?
So our publisher emeritus, Bob Livingston, I think everybody knows Bob pretty well. I asked him.
I hope he's joining in tonight.
I hope so too. Out in they're out in California, of course, so they're 3 hours behind us. But I asked him for a couple of suggestions, and the first one that he recommended is the True Induction Portable Cooktop.
Oh, another great product. Yeah.
Yep. And so a lot of RVs today are coming with induction cooktops, especially higher end motorhomes. They're, of course, electric. They're easy to clean, easy to work with, relatively safe. And if you're used to cooking with them and using the right cookware with them, they're very effective. And so they make a dual portable cooktop, which you see there. And so even if you don't have a built-in one, you can have this one and just plug it in. You can use this out on your picnic table under the awning if you're going to cook outside, or you can just put it on your counter. And it's a pretty neat item. And you can find out more at trueinduction.com. And they have those on Amazon right now for $278.99.
Yep. And a lot of, let me just, John, can you hear me? If you can hear me, just kind of nod your head. All right. I've got you on mute. So when you want to talk, just wave, because you're getting, and just so our fans know, John is at a networking event in Boston tonight, and he's gracious enough to take some time to join us, but he's at the Union Oyster House, and that's not quiet. So I put him on mute, but he's there, and he'll wave if he's got a question. So, yeah. But also, Chris, relative to that particular induction top, not that one in particular, but a lot of the RV manufacturers now are putting the induction tops as standard equipment in the trailers and the motorhomes, right?
They are.
Yeah.
And there's a new, so there's a couple of different models that you'll see out there, and a new one that's out on the market now is a combination of an induction cooktop, electric, and a propane cooktop, burner on the side. So that's actually a one stainless steel housing with the induction and an LP gas burner on it. So it gives you the best of both worlds.
Interesting. The ladies beat me to it. They wanted to know if you could mute. I already did it. So you girls, you're not hearing the background noise. I want to put a little bit of Jerry. We can't have a show without some of Jerry Plant's humor. So we don't have this as one of your items, Chris, but Jerry wanted to make sure that if we talked about the Instapot, that we had nothing to do with the cannabis sales. Okay, I know John. See, John cannot let. I know you can't let that one go, John.
It's legal. It's legal. So
that's right.
At least in Massachusetts, check your local law enforcement authorities. But in Massachusetts now, this is ready to go, baby.
Yep, and this is the second week in a row it's worked itself into the conversation too. So we can do that. Oh, good. Yeah, John, give you a pitch, seeing that Laturco's already done it.
Oh, good. Oh, that's right, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you so much for joining us in this live broadcast. But the reason we're able to reach 7 to 10 to 12,000 people per week is because of the great work that our audience does. And down at the bottom of your device, whether you're watching on a smartphone, a laptop, or a tablet, there's a little device that says, a little button that says share. So please share. And, Ed has already shared it 32 times. We appreciate that. And we realize that the vast majority of our views come from people who are looking at it when it's not live. And the only reason we can reach those people and give them the great information that they get from this show is because of you. But also, so much of the great information that we put out on this show comes from our viewers, like those that are watching now, as well as Chris. And now back to our regularly scheduled program.
Back to our regular schedule. Chris, do you want to pick one? John doesn't have access to all the photos, so pick another one that you like, and I'll try to match up the picture.
Okay, so Bob Livingston's last recommendation was the WineGuard Connect 2.0, and he just did an install of that for Trailer Life and Motorhome, and he's having a really good time working with that. That's actually what we're showing here right now is the Wi-Fi Ranger, which is a similar product, but this is one that I tested out, the Wi-Fi Ranger Sky Pro Pack. And, Wi-Fi Ranger's been around for an awfully long time. And we've seen them on RVs for quite some time. And they, last year we did a test in Florida of the Oliver Elite 2 travel trailer, and it came with the Sky Pro Pack. And so that was my first exposure to this unit. And I was pretty impressed by it. I reached out to them and we did an install and test of it. And I can tell you this thing works. It works really well. I have had it out in Elkhart. I've had it in different spots between here and there in the RV. I've had it in Hershey. And the number of hotspots that you can see increases quite a bit. And this goes out to about 1.5 miles out there. And so if there's Wi-Fi that's available in the area, it'll certainly pick it up. And then also, if you're on let's say a campground Wi-Fi system, you'll have better throughput because it's a better connection. So this is a neat system.
I don't think I see the WineGuard Connect, although maybe the 2.0 I'm not familiar with. Is this it, Chris?
No, this guy here, this is the WeBoost cellular booster. And in going in hand with the getting your Wi-Fi is also being able to boost your cellular phone connectivity. And sometimes that cell phone is going to end up being your internet provider, your internet source. So being able to pull in a signal and boost your outgoing signal on cellular is also quite important. So having either a unit that combines these two, or having a unit like the WeBoost and then also the Wi-Fi Ranger will give you the best of both worlds for connectivity while you're on the road.
Go ahead, John.
Hey, Bob, I think it's important to point out to our viewers that most of these products that Chris is talking about, especially that WineGuard program a moment ago, he's already tested and already knows that works. So we're not just relying on the information that's provided by the manufacturer, but at least in that case of that other product, Chris is the technical guru of this audience, at least, or at least of the three of us. And I feel very safe in buying something that I know Chris has already taken the time, or Bob, or any of the other staff have taken the time. So I think that's important to point out.
Well, yeah, we kind of jumped in the beginning there because we were rushing the deadline, but we should mention that Chris is the technical editor of Trailer Life and Motorhome magazine, which you probably saw on the promo. So just the sheer fact that the guy can be the technical editor of two of the most popular RV magazines in the industry speaks volumes. And Chris, how long have you been up there now? About a little over a year, maybe?
About 2.5.
2.5 years. Wow. Time goes by when you're having fun.
It does indeed. It does indeed.
Give him a little flavor because, we had a tough time getting Chris back on the show because he's never home. But give him a little flavor of what some of your over and above. We'll get back to the gifts in a minute, but the scope of what you do is incredible. Give him a flavor for what your life is like with those magazines.
Well, I keep pretty busy. I'm responsible for the tech content in both Motorhome and Trailer Life, and so that includes all the tests, close-ups, walkthroughs, installations, install projects, all those kinds of things. And I have a lot of work to do to come up with that stuff. And then, of course, we have everybody else who's involved. Bob Livingston still works with us, even though he's officially retired as a full-time employee, works as a contractor with us. And he and I are tied at the hip. We work together on a lot of these projects constantly. And then we have a great staff in the office who are always working very hard to get all the information together for the magazines. And then, of course, our freelance writers. There's a fair amount of traffic or travel, that goes along with this. So I'm out in Elkhart quite a bit, on average about a week a month. Sometimes I'm out there 2 weeks. I do all the big shows, and then I'll be in Florida for 3 weeks for testing and whatnot, and this coming spring, and so get a lot going on.
You're live, John.
Hey guys, here's what I want to tell you. Chris is too modest. He tells us what he does, but the thing that our audience should realize is that Chris knows RVs inside and out. He's been a mobile tech. He's been a service writer at a major dealership, and everything that he talks about is stuff that he's used, and he also owns an RV. So when you hear stuff come from Chris, you can know that it's real stuff that has been tested, and Chris puts them through their paces. And as I say that, Bob, they're giving me the axe out of this room, so I'm going to bow out. I know you've got many other things to do, and certainly want to tell people to share, and we'll see you with another very special guest next week.
Okay, thanks, John.
Thanks, John. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, so let's get back. You want to talk bicycles?
Sure. So one of the things that we've taken a look at recently, and actually our production director, Bob Dawson, who's also an RVer, took a look at and really enjoyed, was something called the Pedigo bicycle. And basically it's an electric bicycle, and it folds up real tight, so you can store it in your RV, your tow vehicle, your dinghy, whatever type of RV you have. It's easy to pack away, and then you can unfold it, and it's you still are pedaling and getting some exercise, but the electric motor takes over and helps to push you along. So these you can find more out about these at PedigoElectricBikes.com. But if you're really interested, you can take a look at our website and Facebook page for Trailer Life, and trailerlife.com, and you can enter to win a Pedigo electric bicycle. And the drawing is coming up real soon. So, make sure you take a gander over there and sign up for it.
I was watching the video of how this thing folded up on the Pedigo site today. And I think it only took them about 30 seconds to fold this thing up and get it ready. And, with a lot of the larger storage compartments that RVs, that the RV manufacturers are putting in, you could store 3 or 4 of these in there. Now, they're not cheap, but you certainly can store them inside, which alleviates the need for a bicycle rack on the back. And if you're going to spend, I think the list price on this is $27.95, Chris, on this. This is called the latch. That you're going to want them inside. You're not going to want them on a bicycle rack hanging off the back end. So they're very, very easy to use once you're at the campsite or if you're boondocking someplace. But the fact that you can fold it up in 30 seconds, put 2 of them in an outside storage compartment, and be on your way makes it a very attractive product.
Absolutely. And, speaking of that, Jeff Johnston, who is also contributing editor for Trailer Life, and was my predecessor from many years ago. Everybody knows Jeff from Rolling on TV these days. I asked him for a recommendation, and he said bolt locks. And that just put on a light bulb for me. I have spent some time playing with bolt locks this year. And when we're looking at the Pedigo bicycle, you're going to want to keep the Pedigo bicycle secure. If you leave it out, let's say under your awning, or you park it someplace. So this is a 6-foot cable lock. So you can use this on your bicycles, your generator, if you have a portable generator, all kinds of different things in your RV. The thing about bolt locks is
that it, sorry, Chris? Is that it? The picture I just put up?
Yes, yeah, you got it. Yep.
Okay.
And then I also have a padlock here, and they have a bunch of different things. And if you want to go through the pictures, Bob, but the thing about bolt locks is that they use the ignition key for your car or truck to operate. So instead of having a bunch of keys for different padlocks and things like that, you can standardize them all to your ignition key. And so when you go to pick one out, you have to pick out your brand of vehicle. So like these are Ford, for Ford, Mercury, and Lincoln, but they have them for GM and Chrysler and different ones. And so once you put your key in and you turn it, it memorizes the pattern on your key, sets the tumblers, and then it's all set. And so I use these on my travel trailer. I have one of these for to lock my tow bar springs, and I'm going to show you another product for that in a minute. And then I use the different hitch locks that are there. I use a bolt lock hitch pin, which works really nicely. So there's a lot of different things you can do.
Let me drop those two down because I think you're talking about this and this.
So, yes. So the first one that he brought up there, that is a security device. That is a hitch lock that prevents somebody from stealing your RV. So let's say you put your travel trailer in a security or a storage facility. You can put this on the tongue of the trailer on the receiver there and lock it down. And it would take quite a bit for somebody to cut that off and remove it. The other one is your hitch pin lock. So where you normally use a hitch pin, you use this to lock it down. That's an added bit of security, and when you're on the road or when it's in storage, and it's just an extra assurance that your hitch won't come unhooked.
Now, Chris, go back to when you mentioned the key. Does that work with the key fobs, the automatic electronic keys that cars have, or is the old-fashioned just a key?
That's a great question, because a lot of vehicles today are keyless, or largely keyless, and the answer to that is no. So you still have to use a standard key. If you go to, I think it's boltlock.com, you'll be able to look up and see if your vehicle has an available key. One of the things you can do is if you have an ignition key to your old car and you want to standardize on it, you can do that. And you can also, of course, carry it forward if you trade vehicles or something like that. And Bolt Lock also has a program for people. If you register your locks with them when you buy them, and you go and buy a new vehicle later on and need new locks, they actually give them to you at a substantial discount as a return customer. So they'll replace the locks, because the tumblers aren't replaceable. Once they're set, but they'll actually replace the locks at a discounted rate.
Yeah, let me mention what we'll do, Chris. Either you can do it or I can do it from the list that you gave me. We have some here. We will go back and put all of these URLs in the comments section, because people are not going to be able to. You got such a great variety of product there; they're not going to be able to remember everything that you're doing there. What is this one in the package? And I apologize if you can hear my dog. So that means my wife just came home. What is this one?
So that's just a regular padlock. So that's a 2-inch padlock, and that's the same thing that I have here. And so you can just have a padlock that works with that ignition key. So again, I use this.
Same company. Same company.
Same company, yep. Bolt. If you look at the top of the package there and you look at it here, it says Bolt on it. It's Bolt Lock. And so when you go to buy these, though, I recommend you go to boltlock.com, and they have a search tool. So you can go there and look and see if there is a model available for your vehicle and your vehicle keys. That's an important point.
LOCK, Chris, do I have the right URL there?
So boltlock.com.
That's it. Okay. All right, so that we have that. All right. You jumped quickly on the bicycle. Now, I know you mentioned there's a contest. Is there a special URL? And I don't have it up on my computer. Do you have the dedicated URL to the contest?
I will. Yep. Let me grab that real quick while we're talking. And I'll come back to that in just a second, Bob. When I mentioned the bolt lock, I wanted to segue into another product, which I met the inventor of, and it's called the Hitch Port. So his website is hitchport.com. And yep. And so the inventor of this product, the owner of the company, is a retired RV technician, and he saw a need to be able to store your hitch equipment when your trailer is stored, or when you're at the campsite, and keep it up out of the way, keep it out of the dirt, not take up storage space, and that type of thing. And so he went through a very particular design process, and these are all CNC cut brackets made out of aluminum. They're nice and lightweight, but very precise and very strong. And pretty much any type of drawbar and any type of spring bars can be secured using these brackets. And the instructions are very clear on how to attach them to the A-frame of the trailer. And once you do that, after you disconnect your trailer, you take the spring bars and you put them in the one bracket, as you see in the picture. And then you use a nut. You can either take your drawbar off by hand, or you can also use an item that they sell also, or you can buy separately, called the hitch grip, which slides over the ball on your drawbar. And it's a neat little piece of physics. You just pick up the handle and slide it out, and it holds right onto it. And once you pick up the weight, it locks itself onto the ball really nicely, and you can slide it right over and into the bracket like you see there, and then just take your hitch pin or your lock and lock it on there, and it's not going to go anywhere. So I've used this now for the entire season this year, and I'm a fan for sure. And so you can find out a little bit more about Hitchport at hitchport.com or Amazon. They're selling on Amazon, and they have different packages, or you can just buy the individual brackets there. They're about $15 a piece. The hitch grip is $25. They're in that kind of range.
All right, let me get caught up on some comments. For some reason, they all came through here in a hurry there. Talk about, Ed mentions there's certainly, you can pick up some of these catalogs at $99 full price. Talk a little bit about the quality and what's important if people look at the price.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's one of those things. There's certain things out there that it's worth you paying a little extra for a little bit of quality. And this would be one of those kinds of things. You don't want to have one of those fail while you're, a bike like that fail while you're out there, riding it, whether it falls apart or it just stops operating. And, I personally don't have experience with the electric bikes myself, but, just like most things, it's you get what you pay for in a lot of cases.
Yep. Jose confirms what you said about the bolt lock. Jose was with Roland on TV, and he was out in Elkhart, and we were out there last week. Getting a little bit of feedback. Do you have another device open, Chris, besides the computer?
I don't.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm not sure I understand Maria's note, but the phones have a key built inside them. Any idea what that means? I don't.
What she's talking about is the key fobs.
Ah, yeah. The fobs. Okay.
Yeah.
FOB is Maria. Yeah.
And
okay.
actually, Maria, that's not true necessarily today. A lot of them do, but actually, there's a number of vehicles today that don't have keys in them. Right. So they'll give you an emergency key in case the system goes down. Sometimes they'll. I know Ford will install a key in a hidden spot in the vehicle, or they'll give you a wallet key just in case you have a dead battery or something and can't get in the vehicle. But You just have the fob and then you have a push button ignition, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah, that's how it is with mine. And the same with Walter Swenson. He's got an Acura that doesn't have a key. So yeah, to do that. Yeah. Okay. Shirley had to leave, but before she left, she gave you accolades. Chris,
thank you very much, Shirley.
Now, is that your sister-in-law, Chris, or is that a relative?
I'm sorry, sir?
Is that a relative?
No.
Shirley, just
nope.
a good fan. Okay.
Yes, I appreciate that very much. Yeah, no, I don't know Shirley, but thank you very much for the compliment.
Yeah, and Maria, we will list all of the products with the URL to run with those. And Walter has his Wi-Fi Ranger. He'd like you to mention the new WineGuard tailgater dish antenna version 4 now gets both the eastern and western satellite arcs. Not being a satellite guy, maybe you can give us plain language on what he's talking about there.
Sure. So there's a couple of different dishes that have come out now, and basically at this point, Dish Network is kind of the standard for RVers. It has you can get high definition on a smaller size portable, and you can turn your service on and off by the month, which is great for RVers if you're using it just in season, or if you're a snowbird and you just want it on certain times. You don't have to have a contract, which is really nice. So there are a couple of new dishes. The WineGuard that he just mentioned is the Dish Playmaker is available now. All you have to do is have a coax connection to them. They're lightweight. The Dish Tailgater Pro by King is the same way. You can hook it up with a coax cable, and it goes to a power inserter that's mounted inside the RV, and it goes to one of Dish's receivers. You can even have a DVR if you want, and while you're on the road, and still be able to get high definition. So these are pretty neat. The Dish Playmaker, I think, is retailing around $350, and the Tailgater Pro is about $379. And you'll see those on various websites. You can go to wineguard.com and see theirs. King is the same way, and they're available on Amazon, campingworld.com, and just about every single dealership, RV dealership, sells those in their parts and accessory stores.
Yeah, here's a good question from Ed. I don't know if we can speak to every one of the manufacturers. What's your take on that? Do you think most of them would be available before Christmas? Absolutely. Pretty popular item. Oh yeah, all of these items you'll be able to get your hands on in time for Christmas. Yep. But don't wait. Order now. Now, and a lot of our dealers, I'm sure, are stocking them. Like you say, Camping World has them, and other dealers are probably stocking a lot of these, especially at Christmas time. Yep, and the distributors all have them also. So you're when you go into your dealership or whatnot, they deal with some of the parts distributors that'll have them in regional warehouses. So it's it should be available, without any problem. Yep. Okay. All right. So did we want to go back to the contest? So your URL on that? I am just taking a quick look. I was looking at the website here and just seeing if I could find. I'm trying to do a couple of things. That's right. So yes. So if you go to trailerlife.com/Pedigo giveaway /2018. Or another way you can do it is go to trailerlife.com, and you'll see the search button up in the upper right-hand corner. It's a little magnifying glass. And just click on that and type Pedigo. And it will take you to the review article, and it'll also take you to the page for the contest. And we're going to have a drawing on December 21st. Wow.
winner will be announced both on our website and on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Trailer Life Magazine.
Okay, pretty good. All right, let's change up the subject here a little bit and talk about this baby.
Yeah, so you know what? A lot of people, I hear people nowadays saying, well, what do I need an RV GPS for? I have, an iPhone or an Android, and that has GPS in it. The problem with that is that they do not yet have a real good app for large vehicles. And so what these devices do for you now, they've really expanded them quite a bit, is this is the Garmin 770 LMTS RV, which is again, RV GPS. You can do your route planning, things like that. Has RV points of interest, POIs, built into it. You'll see on their picture here one interesting thing, and that this particular GPS is showing that there's a height limit coming up. And so we always tell RVers, you need to know what the overall height of your vehicle is, whether you're driving a motorhome or you're driving a trailer or fifth wheel. You have to know what your top height is and then add a few inches for safety. And so this is a neat feature in that it's telling you that you have a height limit coming up. And so you can decide whether you have, a go or no go decision on that. So these are very interesting. Another model, which we tested out recently, and Don Smith did a very in-depth review of RV GPSs in Motorhome magazine. So you'll be able to take a look. And this one here is the Rand McNally Overdrive 7 RV. And this is a 7-inch tablet GPS. So this unit here is actually a full Android tablet, which has their GPS, their mapping, and you can put a bunch of apps on it. You can actually put Android apps on it. This unit here goes to the suction cup that goes on your RV, and it has traffic. So it's a traffic receiver. This will broadcast to your stereo if you want it to, so you can stream music through it. It also has voice activation, so you can, if you don't have a system like Sync or Apple CarPlay or whatever in your vehicle, this will do that. And it's very easy to remove. All you do is slap it on there, and it's a magnetic mount. So you can leave the mount on your windshield, and then when you want to leave the vehicle, you just pop that off, put this someplace safe or take it with you. And then when you come back in the car, you just snap it back on there, and the contacts automatically line up. They're keyed, and you're ready to go. So this is a pretty neat system.
Did I have the right picture? Is that the right picture? Did I match it up?
Yep, exactly. You did. So there's your main screen.
The big feature on that one is the 7-inch screen. So for those people who might have some visual impairments or have difficulty seeing that far away when they're driving down the road, that's got to be a big plus for this.
It is a big plus for that, and also if you have a motorhome, so it may be a little bit further away from you. The dashboard layout on a motor coach is a little bit different, so you'll have that back a little bit, and then you can also just pick it off the mount and hand it to your passenger to reprogram your route or to look for points of interest or that type of thing. This is the next step down. This is a little bit older one. This is the RVND 7730 from Rand McNally. Also has, I bought a sunshade for it back in the day. But this is similar, but does not have nearly the features that the new Overdrive has. And so they have a number of different models too. So, whether you're going with Rand or Garmin, they have some neat features and will actually work out pretty well. And then there's, if you already have one and you're looking for another Christmas gift, consider some of the different accessories. For my Rand McNally, I had a case for it, which everything except the suction mount fits in. But this is, just a nice case that's available, and it gives it a nice place to protect the unit, and they have sun visors, and they have screen protectors and all kinds of different things that you can get for those. Having smashed a GPS in my past because it got caught in the seat of the truck, I made sure I bought a case for it to protect it and keep from breaking the screen. So,
good. Quick note here: Michelle and Laurie just beat up on the Turco. They just shared with 25,000 fans, which I suspect might be the rolling on TV, or maybe she did it with a group. What group was that, Michelle? You can. Wow, we're already up to 750. Let's jump on this one right here, Chris.
Sure. So, communication is very important when you're out on the road, whether you're camping and hiking or at a campground. And then also for backing into a site, is being able to communicate. Yes, we have cell phones, but when you're out in on location, whether you're out in a campground, national park, or whatever, cell service is not guaranteed. And so being able to have a backup form of communication is real important. And this makes a really great holiday gift. So these are Cobra GMRS and FRS radios. There are some that are just FRS or family radio service. There are other ones that are GMRS or general mobile radio service that are require a basic FCC license, not hard to get. And so these guys here will transmit 35 miles straight line. So they've got.
You're 35 miles away from your partner backing up your coach, then you're in bad shape.
Yeah, come on, keep backing for half an hour, and then we'll talk.
What about pricing on stuff like that, Chris?
Yep, you've got a picnic bench in 2 miles.
Right.
Anyway, there's a couple of different ones. Cobra has them. Midland has them that are out there. They have ones that are waterproof and will actually float. They have with weather radio in them, which I always recommend. People have a weather alert radio, know a weather alert. So there's a lot of different options there. Ham radio is another option if you're have some time and you have some interest. Becoming a ham radio operator is great, and then it's even better sound quality and distance. And there's still CB. You know what? There's still people out there using Citizens Band. Doesn't have quite the distance with a handheld unit, but it does work. And it's sometimes nice to have that available when you're on the road to find out what's going on with an incident that's nearby, if there's an accident or construction.
I read an article a couple of months ago that the CB radios were actually making a comeback. Is that true?
I've heard that there's, they went out of favor for quite a while because the truckers were getting cell phones with earpieces, and so they could talk to their significant others or whoever they wanted to on the phone a lot. But there's a lot of information sharing on the road, and especially if you go RVing with other RVers, CB is a good option. To communicate between rigs and a rally, for instance, or if you're all driving in a group, and while there are other mobile options out there and mobile radio, there's GMRS mobile radios and things like that are available. The CB remains a good option, and it's very economical.
Okay, and Walter Swenson, if you're still on, do the Good Sam folks use when you guys travel? I know you travel in packs and you get a lot of people at your rallies. Are you seeing a lot of CB usage there? If you're still on, Chris, we got another product here that we didn't talk about. We only got a few minutes left because I don't want to abuse our audience by going much over an hour. But what do we have here?
So this is another interesting little product that our staff reviewed, and this is a foldable dish drainer, and so this guy is available at Camping World, and basically it has, you can see on the bottom of the top part of the picture, it has a swivel drain on the bottom, so you can kind of aim it whichever direction you want to. If you want to have this dish drainer behind the sink, you can do that. You can either have the the end pointing towards the sink, or you can have it sitting broadside and turn the spout so it'll drain into it. It has a nice little silverware holder there that slides out of the way. So if you don't need that, you actually have the whole space of the dish drainer. And then it collapses down. So it's, the rubber collapses on itself. And then the thing can just slide into the compartment to the cabinet right under the sink or in some other spot. And it takes up a fraction of the space of even a regular RV dish drainer. So it's kind of a neat little product.
Coming back up. Yeah, cut myself off there. All right, how about this one? We'll take down the portable folding one there.
Okay, so our production manager, Brenda Hutchinson, she checked this out for us. And, this is probably, this actually works very well, she says. This is called the Lavario Clothes Washer. You can find it online at lavariowasher.com. And so this is an option if you don't have a built-in washer dryer in your unit. You could even be out boondocking and do laundry with this unit. And you put your clothes in and your detergent, and it has the agitation similar to a regular washing machine, but it's hand powered, and then you can rinse your clothes and whatnot, and then take them out and hang them up and let them dry. So that's another option. You can find that at lavariowasher.com.
Okay, now, Maria, you just bought something, but I don't know what it is that works great. And Mark Lebrecht jumped on just to say hello. And John was here, Mark, but he's at an event in Boston tonight, and they threw him out of the room after about a half hour on that one. And Laturco on the Cobra, on the handheld units, Chris, they run 50 to 150. And Mr. Perry is another latecomer to the party, but I know he's busy. I think he's on the road all the way up to just about Christmas. So certainly one of the hardest working reps out there. So I don't even know where Mike is tonight. Maybe he'll tell us. But I can probably bet
he's probably on the beach with a nice cocktail.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That would be true. Chris, this was an incredible selection. We're running right up to 57 minutes here, and I don't want to hold the people over. I think we could have done 2 hours just on the gadgets. But as we said at the beginning, we'll do the RV of the Year show another time, because Chris and the staff at Trailer Life and Motorhome put together such a great selection of products. So I hope you enjoyed them. We'll be back next week. John will be here next week. I will be out on the road speaking next week, so I will not be available. Chris, any closing comments on these great products?
Yeah, no, I recommend everybody gets out there and find the product that you want. We're, of course, closing in on the Christmas holiday. So you're going to want to get out there so you can get it shipped. But everything's shipping pretty quickly now. If we don't get right back to you on the 2019 RVs, both Motorhome and Trailer Life are running dedicated issues for the 2019 product. It's our most comprehensive coverage ever of a new product. And those are going to be both the February issues of the magazines, and they'll be out on newsstands and in your mailbox around the second or third week of January. So I hope you can check them out.
Super. All right. Mr. Perry comes back and says he's leaving for Keller Saturday. Now, Chris and I know what that means. And Mike, I might see you down there Wednesday. I'm going to try to make the show. I'm speaking at the Sands Indian Casino in my other life, my imaging life, on Wednesday night and Thursday. So I thought maybe I'd swing by. Keller's doing their. Are you on their show Tuesday and Wednesday? They got a show. Keller's got a show down at his Port Trevorton, Pennsylvania facility. So I might see you down there, Mike. And if I do, I will buy you a drink. And it says, excellent show. Chris, thank you very much. Always a pleasure to have you on the show, and we will catch up to you. Hopefully I'll be able to get a drink with you before the holidays. So
absolutely.
Thank you very much. And
I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, and let's head into 2019 and do some RVing.
It's going to be a fun year. All right, Chris,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.